Okay, hold on. Get my lamp on, just for a little more light in my vicinity. Okay, so hello there, guys. This is CD Mangaki here. We're going to do a basic gameplay commentary analysis. This is looking at a replay of mine where I'm actually playing as Zed mid. Mid lane is usually a role I don't venture off into because I prefer to play either AD carry or support. But as I find it a little harder to carry from in solo queue, or at least I have. I'm trying to really think of how to best put this because I don't think that um, I can rely on my solo laners too often, and I want to put more responsibility for the game into my hands. I want to go ahead and try and expand my strengths into the mid lane, see if I can take control of the game pace there, since it's a little more easier to do to carry from mid lane than probably jungle is. So I'm practicing some Zed. Anyway, so this is a blind pick normal game, so it's nothing too spectacular. I don't even know what the ranking of my opponent, who is an Italy mid, is, but hey, I don't consider myself to be a remarkably good Zed player either, so I just happen to have a really good game on him in this game, and I think it's because I'm finally getting like aspects of his playing style down as well as like his kit, and that's something I'm going to look at with this video. So goals for this video is some insight on how to play a Zed, some insight into fundamentals of playing his mid lane when it comes to decision making, controlling your wave, summoner spell choice, and then just like critiquing my own gameplay pretty much. So that's the point of this whole thing. So because this was a normals game and our support is running a Volibear with Ignite, I decided to take Exhaust on Zed because I figured, oh hey, you know, I don't know what the enemy team is going to have. I might as well take Exhaust because that's actually going to help out my dueling potential. Ignite's good for setting up execution of kills, but if the enemy team has someone else who gets fed or has a lot of damage, me having Exhaust basically means that they can never 1v1 me. So that was my thought process going into the game. It actually works out really well for me, but there is a point where I could have done it, use Ignite. My runes for this game are Armor Pen Reds, Armor Yellows, Magic Resistance Blues, all flat, and 80 Quints. It's a standard rune page I use for a blind pick just because I don't know what the matchup is. Had I known I was going to be up against an Italy mid, I would have instead run Health Yellows and flat MR Blues. That's what I would have done. So, actually, no, I don't have... Do I have? Yeah, no, I have the blues armor pens. Okay, so I was thinking about a different game. Mastery's 2190, pretty standard stuff there. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the laning phase. I'm just going to keep it on this particular HUD because it's a little less cluttery. So, and I'm actually going to do, like, put the camera kind of like this. So, starting off the laning phase, I move in to push my wave just using my auto attacks. I felt like Nidalee could have harassed me a lot here with her own auto attacks and punished me, but even if she did that, it's still a good thing for me to push the lane and not give her control over the lane, because if I do that and, like, communicate with my body language, she gets an auto attack on me there. That I'm scared, I'm just going to give her control laning phase, and if she gets an early level 2 over me, then that's going to be bad because Nidalee could all-in me with a level discrepancy. Especially because she also has Ignite. I take a spear hit right there. So, strategies for playing against, like, Nidalee or a champion that has, like, skill shots that are, like, our single target skill shots, so they can only hit one person, is not to run into them like that, but instead use your minion wave to block them, and I start doing that here. I started with a longsword and 3 health pots. It's a pretty standard start in Zed for a good reason. There, I finally learning, okay, let's not walk into that. Stop being Rengar. Don't run into the red light. So, I don't expose myself by going for that range creep right there and let her throw a spear at me, which could hit me. So I am always now like position myself behind my creep, so basically she can't hit me with her Q. And I'm continually keeping minions between her and I. So I hope you guys can see that. Like right there, minion taking damage from me. And now I get this push advantage, and with that I'm going to start using the standard Zed harass combo, which is W. Most players, or some really good players with Zed, are with W right into Q, because then their shadow's right on top of them, they can immediately throw the shuriken. There's no time to react from it, which I think I'll start doing as I continue to practice Zed. But I instead go for the W into E combo, which is a Shadow Slash, which will apply a slow to Nidalee, making it harder for her to move, and then follow up the shuriken. So it's an extra spell in the rotation just for a little extra damage. Now this ward right here is something I want to talk about real fast because it's actually going to play a part later. So I know that the enemy jungler started off on blue side because that's where they were able to get a leash. Bot lane came in, like, bot lane showed up like they leashed. So, okay. So with that, I know that she's done blue, and that she's also done Grump, and that she's going to be on this side or have backed already. But either way, she's going to want to go to her red side jungle in order to go get her red buff. So I should ward on this side around the point. To switch the HUD for a moment, it's 3 minutes 15 into the game, and let's actually go ahead and just look. So I can't see this, but Riven has actually backed and base at level 2. She apparently wasn't able to clear far enough. So that's another thing, we're playing against a Riven jungle, so you can tell how tryhard this is. So I ward my left flank because if Riven is going to go for a gank, it's going to be after she clears these buffs here, and she's going to come from this side. So that's the reason behind my trinket there, and that's something that you have to keep in mind as a mid laner when you're warding in the early game. Anyways, let's go ahead and get back to lane. Meanwhile, top lane doing top lane things. I think my league notification come up. So right here nearly goes in on me. I'm going to let this play out. And I trick a lot with my auto attacks. One thing that I've always had a really bad time with when I'm playing as Zed is weaving in my auto attacks. Because when I go into mid lane, I go in this mindset of, okay, we're not going to use auto attacks. We're going to land spells because AP champions tend to do that, although you should still weave in auto attacks. With Zed, though, you want to do that, obviously, because you're an AD champion. And by building AD, you're going to add on to your damage. So I'm actually going to go ahead and mute my league real fast. So I got a message. You guys heard it earlier. I don't want it to be disturbed too hard. So this particular trade, I want to go ahead and break down on why it happened. So I position myself where I don't have this minion line blocking me, and she throws a spear onto me. So now that she has her hunted marked on me, she wants to go in for a trade. So she Cougar forms. I throw out my shadow immediately, seeing that she's going to come in. I get my Slash off on her, actually, just as she jumps, which was very lucky on me. And she actually completely misses her pounce. So, like, targeted spell. So there's some damage she missed there. I think she throws her E, and there's her Q. But you can see how far ahead I've come on in this trade. And this is namely a result of a couple of things. The fact that I have armor pen runes, and so while she has 37 armor, she actually is playing with 25 armor against my spells. I was able to weave in a couple of auto attacks, propped her passive as well. And I have 46 MR at this point, while she only has, let's see, she has 8 art magic penetration. So that looks like a incomplete. Is she real? Okay, no. I thought that was the summoner level 3. I'm like, am I playing against the level 3? What the fuck? Anyway, so let's go ahead, then go back. So that's why the trade went bad for her. I was able to also land my shurikens, and I got several auto attacks in there, which she didn't get a whole lot in. And she went for like an all-in combo rather than like a poke combo. Had she landed her pounce onto me and then you swiped, she could have pounced right back out before I could really retaliated, but she kind of missed up her combo. So once again, though, same plan. I just stay by my minion waves, using my shadows to harass. You can see me landing the WE into Q combo right there. She was slowed, so she couldn't dodge the other shuriken. One thing I need to get better at was that is positioning my shadow and myself so that I'm going to hit a champion with full shuriken. There's a quick harass with shuriken through the wave. Try to pick up as much CS as I can. Anyways, let me go ahead and turn off the map. So I see Riven coming up here, and I immediately back off. That's like, that ward is a big deal. Like, if I stayed up right there, I probably could have been all in. I definitely would have killed Nidalee, but I think Riven would have killed me in return. So, dodge a spear. I let her push out. So, now that my trinket is gone and I'm waiting for it to respawn, you can see right here, it's not off cooldown yet. I'm going to go ahead and just play this lane a little more passively. You see that I'm not shoving it with my spells quite as hard. I shouldn't be out-attacking the minions as much as I am, but I still want to keep level advantage and pressure onto Nidalee. I let that minion die. I should just walk to bot attack, but I'm like, I don't think I'm going to hit it past this creep. So yeah, but you can see like I'm rarely going for harass, except for, I should have got it right there. In all honesty, I could have. Like, but I go really passive right here, because I don't know where this Riven is. And in fact, if you look, let's see, she's just farming top side. But because I don't know, like she could be camping me for all I know, I go really passive, and this is actually a bit of an error on my part, because this lets Nidalee kind of sustain a little bit, catch up. I hit her with some poke. She's able to sustain through some of it. I'm going to go ahead and speed this video. We played this out for a while. So and then Riven tries for a gank here just as I ward. She missed her spells on me, fortunately, so nothing bad happened out of that. Pop another pot. I get hit by Native Spear right here, and this is where I use Exhaust. I immediately stop her all in. Right here, I do an auto attack into Q to cancel the animation and to speed up the process of my spells, and I get a pretty clean kill on Nidalee and live through Ignite. So when she came in on me at like level 3 or level 4, if I had Ignite then, I could have killed her, but me having Exhaust right here actually saved me in this fight and let me get a victory. So, difference between Exhaust and Ignite. Now that I've killed her, I want to push the wave. You can see the all chat. I want to push the wave here, take my time, make sure I get all the minions, but then force her to lose all of this CS. And then furthermore, it's going to bounce back, so by the time I get to lane, she's not going to be able to freeze it. So that's why you want to freeze a minion, like that's why you want to push into a tower, so you can deny your opponent CS and guarantee that you're going to get some back. So I go back, I pick up a cutlass, a longsword, a pink ward, a green ward, and I think 1 or 2 health pots. Reason for that is I want to have some stain. Instead of getting the MR and like mitigating against her poke, I'm just going to go get the Cutlass, go further into my Blade of the Rune King so I can duel everybody on the map, and as well as just sustain through all her harass. Especially since I'm doing a lot of auto attacks. I get hit right there by a spear because I'm bad. So now she has the minion wave pushed to my tower, but I'm here to absorb all this CS, at least take what I can. There we go, I did a pretty good job, I missed like one. My jungler over here gets caught out, so they come by, and I'm like, alright, hold on, I'm like, run to me, run to me. So I go in on the Riven, basically just evaporate her, and then I turn the Nidalee. Honestly, I could have used my ultimate on the Nidalee instead of the Riven. Had I done that, like, I wouldn't have needed everyone to come up and help me, but because they do, we get more guild. And I get this shadow right here to land a second set of shurikens onto her, and she dies. So I just walked away with a double kill. So, pretty safe to say I'm about to snowball of control. With that, I go ahead, just push my lane. Once again, denying her CS, making sure the wave's going to bounce back to me. Like, there's so many minions right here. And if you look at the CS stats, actually, I have 59 CS to her 30. I'm doubled her CS right now, and it's mainly because I've gotten kills in lane, and I'm forcing her to lose minions to tower. And you can see up here that, once again, like, she's going to come to lane. And because she wants XP and trying to catch up to me, she's going to push the way back to my tower. But by the time it gets to my tower, I basically arrive to take all of it. Except for that one, because I'm bad. So, with my wards, I placed one over there to cover my this right flank, and then I moved over here to ward this side so I can guarantee that Riven can't gank me. Riven would have to like come all the way around here and gank me through here. And there's no way for her to flank me through Riverside because all entrances to this side of the jungle are warded. So Riven can't get to me at this point. So I can be really aggressive in this lane. I have 2 levels up on Nidalee, and I also picked up Brutalizer with my last back. Just snowballing, picking up as many damage as I can for going like a Hex Drinker because I don't need it. And it's pretty much the same story, just pushing the lane in, getting harassing. You can see how much damage I do to her. That's like 1 spell rotation on her. I think with both sets of shurikens landing. I'm going to try and speed this up a bit. Same principles are always being applied. I hit her with 2 shurikens right there. So like she gets chunked hella hard, forced to use her mana to try and sustain. And here, I mean, I land the last shuriken and so she dies. I mean, I don't need Ignite at this point to kill her. I do so much damage. So me getting the early kills has made my pickup of Exhaust actually really good. So anyways, so at this point, I push the minion wave into tower again, for reasons I've already stated. But now instead of returning to base, I'm going up to top side. Reason being, we have a ward up here, so we can actually see the enemy jungler farming their buffs. They're level 5, both me and my top laner are level 8. I'm actually level 9. So we have this huge advantage over them, and we want to keep them down. So what we're going to do is roam up there and try and go kill them. So Yasuo's trying to stack their crit up. Their red buff just spawns, so Riven probably doesn't know we're here. So now she does, so I W, E, auto onto her. She once again, like, this doesn't look like a Riven player who's too experienced because like her shields are a little off, or her stuns. So we force her to back off. We don't pull the red into the brush, so that's our fault, but even then she had a vision for it. So she smites it, but Yasuo catches her with the ultimate. We force her flash, and I just want to keep her down and prevent her from steamrolling. So I use my Cutlass right before I throw my shurikens at her just to guarantee that she's slow and can't juke. And kill her right there. And that's a big reason why actually people will pick up Blade the Rune King on Zed, even though Hydra will give you more damage on your spells because it has more AD. It's the fact that you're going to have the extra current health damage from the auto attacks to start, so there's more upfront burst for you, especially on higher health targets. There's also the active from it, so there's additional burst for your all-in combo, and then the slow and the movement speed buff lets you slow down an enemy so you can hit them with your spells and also keep up chasing with them. And the movement speed is also a reason why like a person would, why we build Ghostblade on Zed. So once again, I come back, I push in mid lane. I mess up backing here. Instead of properly backing, I don't. And we take Dragon, but you know they go find a kill. But with them taking Dragon, I just push the lane to the tower. It's like my buddy's dead, I might as well get a victory. I want to go back, pick up my Blade the Rune King. And once again, I buy another pink ward because at some point, even though this pink ward has gone unnoticed, it's going to die eventually, and we could potentially move up our vision control. I buy another green ward, make sure I don't get ganked, sweep to a red sweeper so I can clear out vision, so I can start setting up picks. Once again, I come back to lane, and I pretty much got whatever CS was left for me. Nidalee is at 57 CS, I'm at 103, so once again, pretty close to double. Now it's double. Actually, no, she got 1, so I had to get like 2 more. Now it's double. Yay! So she's having a really rough time. I have a core item and a half on her. She hasn't even completed her Morellonomicon at this point, if I remember correctly. Yeah, she's got the components for it, but that's it. That's just rough life. So we move around here, looking to kind of contest vision around. Our bot lane's doing okay for itself. I'm doing really well in mid lane. I'm going to speed up. Same old harass combos. So I'm actually applying like the Princess of playing Zed really well. I'm getting the auto attacks in, I'm building pretty well. I've been snowballing my lane, been having pretty good control over it. There's a double shuriken land combo, so now I could all in her if she gets too close. I think I move up here, but my shadow's actually down. If it was, I would have W'd her. I could have ulted her right here and actually killed her. And I'm like, I could have actually gotten that. But I wanted the tower anyway, so I'll just take the tower. Try to go up there, land a harass combo onto her, and that just doesn't work. So I all in her right here, but she actually, her flash causes me to miss my E, which then she doesn't have the slow, so I also miss my shuriken. And yeah, my ult does like no damage to her. I just laugh because I missed all my stuff. Trundle doing Trundle things. He's attacking that tower really fast. We get pretty good amount of damage on the tower. We sweep through the jungle, trying to get some vision down. I get whacked up by Jace. We clear out a pink. My brother, just having some fun, leaves the game. We have this team fight over here. I mean, Yasuo gets really low. I start the Grom trying to sustain off of it. Bad idea. I don't have enough lifesteal or damage yet. Yasuo goes in, and I decide, okay, it's time for me to go in as well. Nidalee's right there. So I jump over the wall, hit her with my E, hit her with my shurikens. Actually, both sets because my shadow's positioning. I exhaust her just enough right there to live through the next bit of damage, and I actually got her to be hit by the Cromp as well. So, hashtag calculated. That wasn't, like, at all planned by me, so. And with that, we walk away. Not Ignite. Exhaust barely saving me right there, and that prevents another kill on the Nidalee. Or a kill for Nidalee, I should say. And I complete my Ghost Blade. So now I'm sitting at 32 flat armor penetration. That's just mean. So, back to lane, boys. So I got farm bouncing back to me. There's a lot of CS for me to pick up. I mean, we're pretty much snowballing this game out of control. Like, it's pretty much over. So, we go down. We go for Mr. Krabs. Yasuo split pushing top. They got a ward for themselves. We're constantly denying vision. They're blue. We see that they have 3 top, so we're like, okay, let's do bottom things. I go back to mid lane just to keep farming, keep split pushing. Top laner dies. I come up here and I take the mid tower pretty quickly. That's one thing that I think could become a big part of the new meta is split pushing, because they got rid of like there's only like a 30 damage shield on that tower, so I think that split pushing is going to be a lot stronger. Okay, so right here, I go in onto Jace, and Jace is actually really hard for Zed to kill, because here I go right on top of him. I get this chunk of damage. I miss my double 2 shuriken though, and that's really bad for me. And he knocks me back, and I also get tagged by Nidalee Spear. So I actually warp back to my shadow to juke the Nidalee pounce, but the Jace hits me and I die. So I missed my important spells. Had I done that, I might have been able to kill him actually. So big misplay on my part, and Jace also repositioned me, so I'm like, well, that happened. I'm just going to go ahead and rewind all the way through. Here we go. I'm back. We get another dragon for ourselves. Yasuo is doing Yasuo things at top lane. They're so far ahead, that doesn't even matter. I don't recommend this comp for any kind of ranked or competitive play. So, we're just playing shit that we want to play. I come up here, want to get pressure on this tower. Don't get a whole lot, because Nidalee comes up here to clear the wave, and inhibitor towers are inhibitor towers. They get tagged by a spear. But they do like... Well, that was a point blank one, so that's why I did no damage. Here's me placing that pink to move up my vision control, so we lose the one here, but now we have it here, and now we have like this kind of line of vision around here. It's more like a circle fuck right there, Jesus Christ. Diamond strats warding right there, yo. Rotate around on through. I pop my Ghost Blade to get in on the fight. I could go in on Janna, but like she has all of her spells in disengage, and I don't want to, so I want to go for the overextended Nidalee. So I come on over, hit her with Tigers from my spells. We go chase her. Janna blows us away with the ultimate. So now we basically able to force them off, and I still have kill potential with my ultimate. We lose Yasuo there, though, to Jace EQ shenanigans. So we come in with the minion wave, and I'm not going to walk over to this tower to auto it, because it's like there's all those champions right there that could jump on me. And let's not get messed up by the tower. I've seen way too many people in my elo do that for some reason. So once again, I'm keeping pressure up here while we get tagged. Nidalee thinks about coming onto me. does, I juke her pounce with my ultimate, so timing that. I land the first auto, I land an E, she tries to combo me, I hit 2 shurikens, so I'm actually like doing a pretty good job of weaving in the autos. So there's that, and then Jace comes for me, so he's thirsty for that booty. So, and the funny part right now is, actually at this point in the game, I'm lagging a bit, so I don't even see how I killed Nidalee, and I don't see how I killed Jace. That's why my shurikens on Nidalee came out so late. So I pop my Ghost Blade for attack speed, WE with him with my Shadow. I exhaust him as he does his hyperdrive, so that like stops all of his damage. Use my Blade of the Rune King active, and then I get another auto attack onto him. And like after the EQ and I use my Blade of the Rune King active, after there the game lagged for me, and I'm like, I killed Jace, guys. What happened? So auto attacks. That's the principle of using auto attacks with Zed. And I'm only harping on that not because like a bunch of people like don't do that with Zed, but it's because I don't do that with Zed. I have a really hard I just don't do that because I'm bad. So working on that. Anyways, come back over here. Yasuo is diving, but we're far ahead. So Nidalee just doesn't do anything to me. Pop my Ghost Blade for a little more damage. Riven comes up, tries to do damage to me. I just keep auto attacking her through. I try to get Janna, doesn't work out for me. As you can see, we're really far ahead at this point in the game. These aren't massive outplays, this is just me having more items, more damage, more levels, so. Yeah, I don't know if there's even much left to say about this game. What's my score? 10-1-0. I get one more kill and one more assist. We go on to Janna, we pick her up, saving my spells once again. Still have my ultimate. Trying to set up a pick right here, just waiting for them to come on over. We go gangbang Vayne real fast in bot lane. We're like, hey, what's up, girl? She ults. I just go right in onto her. Nothing she can do. Trundle wanted to try and steal it. And that's the game because, as you can see, they surrender right here. So, so commentary is over. Point of that I wanted to bring up is some basic ZFX, some basic skills sets that you should practice with Zed. Some mid lane warding tips, some build itemizations, rune page stuff. Yeah, so pretty standard stuff. Thank you guys for watching this commentary. Hope you all enjoyed it. This is Seeding Man Gekka signing out.